Unearthed from a decorator's collection, these crowns and armbands whisper tales of Jazz Age extravagance and Egyptian allure. The guest inherited these pieces from a deceased friend who designed costumes for Mardi Gras balls in Baton Rouge. Likely from the 1920s, this set includes crowns for a gentleman and a lady, plus 3 armbands.
What we have here would be a crown for a gentleman and a crown for a lady.
The Egyptian-inspired design, featuring winged headpieces and cobras, reflects the cultural impact of King Tutankhamun's tomb discovery. Crafted from brass with hand-set glass stones, these pieces were probably made in America, possibly in Hollywood or New York.
King Tut's tomb. So this would be worn by a woman. The beautiful winged sides would come down across her ears, and the peacock would be on her forehead.
Another item, a lady's crown, showcases a peacock motif, while the gentleman's features a prominent cobra. Matching armbands adorned with scarabs complete the elaborate costume set, highlighting the enduring appeal of 1920s Egyptian-inspired design and craftsmanship. The total retail value for this Jazz Age costume suite is estimated at.
So we're looking for the whole group, right around $3,000.
That's a lot of money for those, yes.
From the silver screen to a cherished bedside companion, this Elvis Standie embodies the birth of a cultural icon. The guest, an avid Elvis fan, received this movie standee as a gift from friends who found it in an attic during renovations. This rare piece promotes Elvis's first feature-length film, Love Me Tender, originally titled The Reno Brothers. Despite his stardom, Elvis received 3rd billing in this debut film, a unique occurrence in his career. These standees were used to decorate movie theater lobbies and often pass between menus. The central crease is intentional, allowing for easy shipping and storage.
The crease across the center, that's how it was made. They're made to fold so they can be shipped. There were reports that you couldn't hear the film because the girls in the theater were screaming so loudly because he was such a heartthrob.
Due to Elvis's immense popularity and fan fervor, most of these standees were destroyed, making this one of only 2 or 3 known to exist.
There are only about 2 or 3 of these known to exist.
Really?
So many were destroyed.
At auction, this rare piece of Elvis memorabilia, a testament to the enduring legacy of the king of rock and roll, is valued at.
At auction, I would estimate it at least $10,000 to $15,000.
Oh my God!
So are you going to keep it by your bed still?
Oh.
A flea market find. This item is a rare treasure of Southern folk art history. The guest discovered this piece at the Moorhead Flea Market in California about 18 years ago. It is a fracture, a type of decorated family record common among Pennsylvania Dutch communities. However, this particular fracture originates from Rowan County, North Carolina, making it exceptionally rare. Rowan County, North Carolina. The document serves as both a birth and baptismal certificate for Philadelphia Gorin, born in 1811.
North Carolina?
Rowan, North Carolina, and you can see that this is the name of the person, Philippina Garin. And the lines here says she was born in North Carolina in Rowan County in the year 1811.
Its intricate decorations include parrots, pinwheels, arches, and flowering vines, showcasing the artistry of Southern fracture. Despite some condition issues from folding, likely due to storage in a family Bible, the rarity of Southern fractures enhances its value.
But then this pinwheel decoration, the arch, the flowering vines, it's a fabulous piece. It does have some condition problems. You can see here where it's been folded.
The estimated auction value for this unique piece of folk art, reflecting its historical significance as a rare Southern fracture, is
at auction, and all of us agreed that conservatively an $8,000 to $10,000 estimate.
Whoa.
Exhibited today is a work of art that embodies the essence of minimalist design. Our guest's parents were honored with this remarkable piece, a gift from the artist that holds deep significance.
My brother and I would often go over there to play with his children and to just enjoy their company.
This one-of-a-kind piece is the creation of the renowned artist Ad Dekkers. Ad Dekkers was a Dutch artist and designer known for his contributions to the development of modern art and design. He was a prominent figure in the Netherlands, and internationally recognized for his innovative and diverse body of work.
It's a piece by Ad Dekkers. He's a Dutch artist,
Yes.
primarily known in Holland. Born in '38, went to the Academy of Visual Arts in Rotterdam,
Oh, interesting.
and was trained as a traditional painter.
According to the notation on the reverse side of the artwork, this piece is crafted from polyester resin. The notation on the back also reveals the title of this artwork.
He didn't do a lot of work on canvas. They're mainly architectural, and they have a very architectural feel when you look at the overall structure of them.
This work's geometric shape and clean lines give off a distinctly architectural flair.
Well, it's in Dutch. It says vierkant, opgebouwd uit driehoeken. It translates to a square built up with triangles.
With its condition remaining virtually unaltered since its creation in 1966, this piece is a highly sought-after collector's item, with an auction estimate of
Those are in a $7,000 to $10,000 price range. For something this size, I think we're looking at a $20,000 to maybe $30,000
Oh my
price
goodness.
range at auction.
From ancient traditions to contemporary art, Hopi seed jars have undergone a remarkable evolution over centuries. The jar exhibited in the show is a typical example and was inherited by our guest from his aunt 15 years ago.
Sold off his entire collection. She bought 2 pieces. This is the one surviving piece. The other one was broken. She purchased it, it was 1959.
This particular jar was crafted in the Hopi Reservation in 1915 by Nampeo. Nampeo was a Hopi Tewa potter who lived on the Hopi Reservation in Arizona.
She was the grand dame of Pueblo pottery. She just literally transformed Pueblo pottery making
Oh, really?
in the entire Southwest.
One characteristic of Nampeo's designs is symmetry, which is evident in this piece. Adorning the surface of the pot is an abstract bird design in a repeating pattern. Additionally, the pot features a constricted neck to help regulate moisture. Its very good physical condition further enhances its value. At auction, this pot, exemplifying Native American craftsmanship, would easily be valued at.
I think on a retail basis, this pot would perform very well, maybe in the neighborhood of $12,000 to $15,000.
12 to 15? Okay.
On display today is a piece of sports memorabilia that holds a special place in the annals of history. The initials ECL, emblazoned on this rare garment, signify its origins in the esteemed Eastern Colored League. In 1920, the Negro Leagues were officially founded, paving the way for a new era in professional baseball.
So it's one of the earliest known Negro League memorabilia artifacts. This is the only one of 2 that are known today to still exist.
Negro Leagues. The Kansas City Monarchs made history in 1924, emerging victorious over the Hilldale Daisies in a debut World Series and cementing their status as champions. Examining the photographs from that historic World Series, the sweater is visible in several of the images. This piece is exceedingly rare, with only 2 known examples in existence, making it a true treasure. As a piece of sports history, this item is unparalleled, offering a glimpse into the past that shaped the games we love today. The meticulous care and attention devoted to preserving this piece have maintained its original splendor, making it a highly coveted and valuable item that would have a notable auction value of.
So to find a sweater like this is phenomenal, particularly in this condition. I would place an insurance value of $10,000.
Well, it's fantastic. It's great to see. Thanks.
This is an Argillite totem pole.
Argillite comes from the Queen Charlotte Islands. It was purchased by my grandfather back in the 1920s.
The guest's grandfather, who was in the import-export business, found this item in a store while in Canada.
A soft stone, when quarried, found only on the Queen Charlotte Islands, mined and quarried only by the Haida. They're the only ones who were permitted to use it. The greatest Argillite carver ever.
As its name suggests, it's carved from Argillite, a soft stone when quarried, found only on the Queen Charlotte Islands. This beautiful piece was carved by Zacharias Nicholas, a master Haida carver who worked in the late 19th century. This Argillite totem pole is a replica of a pole that originated from a village, likely some 20 or 30 feet tall.
Is the name of the council house.
Really?
At the top, we have a raven with a humanoid figure clasped within its wings.
At the top, we have a raven with a humanoid figure clasped within its wings. Below that, we see a fierce grizzly bear with wings and a figure emerging from its belly. A wolf figure is also present, along with an upside-down human figure in a birthing position. This pole has distinct artistic imagery from top to bottom. This imagery tells a story of their ancestors and the mythological creatures that influence the family.
Do you have any feeling for value?
Really don't. That was always kind of the question in the family. Is this a couple $1,000? Is it?
A 29-inch tall totem pole made of argillite with bone inlays on the teeth and fantastic sculptural value would be valued at.
On a retail basis, I would estimate this value would approach $100,000.
Oh, okay.
We have before us a black and white television show poster showcasing a mysterious character. Also, below the poster is the television show's very script. The guest inherited the show's poster and script from his granddad.
I think somewhere in Kent, and this was in the detritus that was being thrown out during the refurbishment.
The television show, Doctor Who, is one of the greatest television shows of its era and still runs to this day. When we open the script, we'll see it's intricately written for the main character, the Doctor, played by William Hartnell, a famous actor, best known for playing the original incarnation of the Doctor from 1963 to 1966. What sets this television script apart is its uniqueness as the very first of the Doctor Who series.
This is a script for the very first Doctor Who story in 1963.
And despite its age, the script remains in great condition, which adds to its value. So, at auction, this original piece of a historically lauded television show would sell for.
Doctor Who, as we all know, has an enormous fan following. It really does. And there are fans who would give their eye teeth for something like that.
Today's exhibit features a collection of belt buckles from the American Civil War. The first piece is a vintage American Civil War belt buckle made in large quantities between the late 1850s and early 1860s, totaling over 1 million.
This first one is the classic Civil War U.S. belt buckle. Over 1 million of these buckles were made. It's a stamped brass face, and they put lead in the back of the buckle to reinforce it for more durability.
In today's collector's market, a classic buckle like this would retail for.
On today's market, a buckle like this would retail for about $300 to $350.
With the exception of the first piece, all the buckles in this collection, including this piece, are Confederate buckles. At present, this remarkable, well-preserved buckle would sell for.
This one is known by collectors as a CS sardine lid. Today, this buckle would retail about $8,500.
Oh my.
We also have this aged buckle, crafted from a more delicate metal, pewter.
Where the rest of the buckles, the major metal is brass. This is one of the best known examples. It has a beautiful color and it's not broken. Pewter is such a fragile metal.
As one of the few hundred ever produced, this piece is a true rarity and would have an auction worth of.
This one today would bring about $15,000.
Oh my goodness.
Finally, we have two stunning pieces of sword buckles, typically crafted in two separate parts.
Richmond was one of the last cities to fall, and so they made thousands of them.
This sword buckle was manufactured in Richmond, one of the final strongholds of the Confederacy. With its original luster and charm fully intact, this piece would garner an auction value of.
This piece today would bring about $3,000.
Lastly, produced in Memphis, a city that surrendered early on, this piece features intricate details that reveal it was worn by an officer of high ranks. As one of the rarest pieces in existence, with only 12 known examples, this sword buckle would realize an auction worth of.
There are only about 12 of them still existing. Would probably bring about $35,000 today.
Oh my goodness. That's a lot of money, which begs the question. You know, these things are beautiful.
We are delighted to feature on today's show a remarkable lino cut block print acquired by our guest in an arts workshop in Ocean Springs.
I met him back in the 49. I was at Ocean Springs.
This print was created by the renowned American artist Walter Anderson around 1950. Anderson, celebrated as both a painter and writer, is especially famous for his distinctive lino-cut prints.
He was considered a visionary, and his talents were utilized for lino cuts, for paintings.
The piece stands out due to its rhythmic and graphic qualities. The black lines seen throughout the print are the result of the lino-cut technique, while the vibrant orange and white hues are applied using stencils. This artwork depicts birds in a repeating pattern, and it subtly incorporates minimal watercolor accents. Typical of Anderson's work, This piece is unsigned, and there are little wears visible on the piece. Given Anderson's esteemed reputation among collectors, this lino cut print is expected to hold a value of.
So at auction, we think it's probably worth about $5,000.
Right.
This guest brought a large painting onto the show that originally belonged to his wife's grandfather and was inherited by him from his wife.
Broke in and punched the broom handle through it several times.
Any particular reason?
Just meanness.
Did you chase him down?
No, I found out later who did it, but, you know.
The painting was created by Louis Aston Knight around 1910. Knight was a French-born American artist noted for his paintings and landscapes. In the lower right corner of the painting, we can see the artist's signature, which further authenticates the item. Typical of Knight's works, this painting is characterized by a detailed depiction of a body of water, greenery, and a cottage on the side. Notably, there is some wear on the painting, and it is also very dirty.
He was born in 1873 to a painter by the name of Daniel Ridgway Knight, and he spent most of his life in Europe. He was an American expatriate painter, and so that's why he signs Paris down there.
With some minor repairs and cleaning, this piece could easily be restored to its former glory.
He specialized in painting these mills and cottages. He's a master of painting water.
Yeah.
In fact, so much so that he was known to get put on waders like a fly fisherman.
In its current condition, at auction, a well-detailed painting by Knight would be valued at.
If I were to insure this, I'd probably insure it for about $45,000 to $50,000 these days.
All right, okay.
Her grandmother saw it in a 1920s San Francisco jewelry store and called it a poison dart ring. It's a Renaissance revival poison ring, and it epitomizes 19th century historical style fashion. These rings, rooted in Renaissance and medieval traditions, concealed small amounts of poison. The ring includes rose-cut diamonds in round, triangular, and pear shapes, plus table-cut diamonds, a dazzling mystery in gold and diamonds.
Someone who thought that it was a Renaissance piece and gave me a jewelry value, but they didn't know anything else about it.
It opens to reveal a finely enameled frog or salamander inside, with colored emeralds. Turning it over reveals arts and crafts Chanlouve enamel with green coils and blue leaves. The appraiser valued the item in its intricate detailing.
At auction, this ring would take an estimate in the range of $5,000 to $7,000.
Oh, really? Oh, that's great.
A Kiaa lattice cradle, named by a woman named Guhala before 1911, has a rich family history. Guhala, meaning mesquite beans, was born in 1911 and crafted dresses, leggings, moccasins, belts, and purses. This cradle features beadwork with leaf motifs, reflecting the designs of the eastern tribes from which the Kiaa originated. Unlike many Kiaa cradles, this one has identical designs on both sides, making it particularly special. Over the years, the family has replaced some of the original slats and rawhide backing, which was used for moccasin soles, and redone some of the stringing as it aged. Historically, Kiaa cradles and beadwork have been highly valued. Despite the modifications, this cradle's value in today's market is estimated between
today's market, this cradle at auction or at a good gallery would be worth $25,000 to $35,000.
Yeah.
There have been some Kiowa cradles that have gone in the six figures.
A blue and white spode platter, marked spode on the back, and titled Shooting a Leopard, depicts Englishmen and Indians in India hunting a leopard with dogs cornering it in a tree. This design, inspired by 1805 acquaintance called Oriental Field Sports, was introduced by Spode in 1809. It was part of a mass-produced line of transferware, popular among the middle class and exported globally. It was acquired in 1998 by the guest stationed in Baghdad, Iraq, while working with an international organization. Despite its historical and decorative value, the platter's condition affects its monetary worth. It has a crack on the edge and another extending through the back, significantly diminishing its value. Currently, with the damage, the retail value is estimated between
I think that a retail value would be somewhere between $300 and $500.
Okay.
If it were in perfect condition, it would be a lot closer to $2,000 to $3,000.
Oh, wow.
The guest brought an arrow quiver to the show, seeking information about its origin. The item was initially believed to be an authentic American Indian arrow quiver. However, It turned out to be a reproduction rather than a genuine artifact. The piece was crafted for sale approximately 15 years ago. Key indicators of its inauthenticity include the use of high-tech nylon instead of animal sinew. Additionally, it featured commercially tanned hide rather than traditional Indian tanning methods. The appraiser noted that the quiver was shorter with a narrow strap, making it uncomfortable to carry.
The next thing is the average quiver is a third again longer than this and sometimes longer than that because arrows were hard to make, so they were fully protected.
The item was suspected to have been crafted by an artisan from Texas. Despite being a reproduction, the quiver was valued as a decorative item, especially with its custom case. Given this, the estimated value for the item was...
It's worth a minimum of several $100s, probably $350 up.
Okay.
An intriguing object, believed to be an authentic East African piece, was acquired at a training camp in Kenya. However, the item was identified as being from Nigeria.
And this is in the style of an 18th century pendant.
Specifically in the Benin style, which is characteristic of the Benin City region. While the pendant resembles 18th century Benin artwork, there are notable discrepancies. It is much larger than authentic pieces and is supposed to be heart-shaped, indicating that this particular object is an exaggerated decorative item rather than a genuine historical artifact. Despite its decorative appeal and stylistic nod to the historical Benin art, the pendant's value is significantly lower, reflecting its artistic design, but not genuine antiquity. The value of this decorative object is around.
So we have a decorative object. A piece like this is going to be $200 to $300.
Okay.
An extra special treat was unveiled with a pair of identical National steel guitars from around 1934. These unique resonator guitars feature brass bodies covered in nickel silver. Lily of the Valley style 3 identical engravings are on both instruments. These guitars are known for their louder sound, produced by resonator cones. Exquisite details such as pearloid faceplates have ebony fingerboards with diamond inlays. They also feature distinctive latticework metal sound chambers.
It's a pretty fancy engraving also.
It's beautiful.
Up at the top we have the national nameplate.
Coincidentally, receiving guitars with consecutive serial numbers enhance their value significantly. Each guitar, in wonderful condition, is estimated to be worth around...
I would estimate their value each at about $5,000. But because you have a pair that are consecutive serial numbers, this might be very meaningful to a particular collector.
Cluel Pottery made its debut on the show with 2 beautiful examples. These pieces were acquired by the guest's daughter at an estate auction around 15 years ago. Charles Cluel, the creator, produced metal-clad pottery from 1903 to about 1950, inspired by a Roman piece owned by J.P. Morgan. Cluel developed a unique metal coating and patination process.
He was from Canton, Ohio, and he bought blanks from like the Weller Pottery in Roseville and Owens and Knowles Taylor Knowles. Curious thing about Cluel is when he died,
Cluel's unique technique was lost when he instructed his heirs to destroy the formula upon his death. These 2 large pieces are notable for their size and being a matched pair, an extremely rare find. Rust and verdigris green colors are vivid, each piece marked with the typical Cluel insignia and production numbers. Notable for their size, color, and condition, they are estimated to be worth.
in terms of value, again, I've not seen a matched pair, but I think individually they have to be worth at least $3,000 to $4,000 a piece. A matched pair might bring $7,000 to $8,000.
A set of Odon Quadrupeds of North America was featured, comprising 3 volumes. This edition was a more accessible counterpart to Audubon's earlier work, The Birds of America, which aimed to make natural history illustrations available to the general public.
And he, with the help of his sons, made a similar book with about 155 plates.
Created with assistance from his sons, this set includes approximately 155 plates depicting North American mammals. A large folio version was published in 1846, and this more affordable edition followed a decade later. These volumes are esteemed for their detailed illustrations and Audubon's dedication to accurately portraying wildlife. Its blend of scientific accuracy and artistic mastery continue to captivate collectors and enthusiasts alike. highlighting its significance in the realm of natural history publications. At auction, this set is valued around.
The value of these 3 volumes at auction is around $10,000.
Oh, really? Wow, that's amazing.
Today, we're featuring 2 gorgeous Art Deco posters that capture the essence of ocean linear travel. Our guest discovered these 2 gems in a large poster lot sale.
One of them depicts New York, and the other one is all about travel to California. So we sort of have America caught in the brackets, which is really nice.
The city of New York is magnificently portrayed in this piece. Minor damage is present, but it's easily repairable. And in this state, its auction estimate would be.
Now, in the condition that it's in, I think you'd have no trouble at auction selling it for between $1,000 and $1,500.
Wow. In contrast to the first piece, this poster has the unique distinction of being signed by an artist whose identity remains a mystery. This unique piece is a rare advertisement for California travel. It is sure to captivate collectors of California memorabilia. With minor restoration work, this fascinating poster can be easily perfected, and it's expected to fetch an auction estimate of.
At auction, a piece this rare I think would sell for between $2,000 and $3,000.
Display today is a unique and intriguing toy known as the Lasso M. Bill Cowboy Set. Santa gifted this charming toy to our guest in either 1946 or 1947, a nostalgic reminder of childhood joys.
The guns and the other things, they held up good.
Well, you know how excited we are when we get in a nice original box, and of course that adds a lot to the whole toy.
This remarkable set is housed in its original box, featuring fantastic illustrations that add to its charm. Among the items in this set are a beautiful pair of leather chaps and a stylish leather vest. The standout piece in this collection is the exceptional lasso. With the toy lasso, kids would learn the basics of roping and cowboy skills, all while having a blast.
Well, you have a wonderful thing, and I'm really excited that you brought it here to share. I've never seen this set before.
This fantastic toy set is a spark plug for the imagination, igniting creative play in children. Despite the passage of time, it has remained remarkably well preserved, and its value is estimated to be.
I think this set, like it is, gosh, I'd have to think it would be $800 to $900, maybe $1,200, because you just don't find them in this kind of condition.
A valuable ring and necklace were featured, and the ring was made of gold and diamonds. Being an English piece from around 1780 and adorned with amethyst stones, the necklace is particularly remarkable.
Because it's mounted in gold, and the brilliance of the stones, which would probably have foil behind them.
Amethyst was highly popular among imperial families and is also considered a healing stone. Ancient Greeks believed that wearing amethyst prevented drunkenness and promoted sobriety. The necklace's good length, rarity, and the brilliance of its stones contribute to its high value. Despite a slight color change in one of the stones, this characteristic was deemed desirable. They were found in a paper bag inside a trunk while cleaning out the guest's late mother-in-law's belongings. This ring and necklace together are valued at approximately.
How about $25,000?
Are you serious?
I am serious.
$25,000?
That would be a current retail value for it today.
Oh my gosh, wow.
A miniature icebox, likely used as a salesman's sample or display model, was showcased. Discovered in the attic of a relative's home, it was identified and taken by the guest, who recognized its historical significance. These miniature iceboxes were crafted to replicate the functionality of full-size models for store demonstrations.
The whole functionality, and it's hard for us to imagine the day when they would have to haul around big chunks of ice.
This model is notable for its larger size, detailed cast iron hardware, and perforated shelves for improved air circulation. Fully functional, the icebox is lined with metal to protect the wood and includes drain boards to manage melted ice. Dating back to the late 19th to early 20th century, it exemplifies craftsmanship from around 1890 to 1910. Despite some condition issues, such as age-related wear, it's rare and historically appealing. At auction, this finely crafted miniature icebox could fetch around.
As far as value, I think this at auction could bring in the neighborhood of $3,000.
Oh, for goodness sake.
So it's sort of a nice thing to find in an attic.
Yes, it was. Thank you.
A sculpture known as Diana of the Tower was the subject of discussion. The guest's mother acquired a smaller study of this iconic piece at auction many years ago. Originally a weather vane designed by Augustus St. Gaudens in the 1890s for the top of Madison Square Garden, it depicted Diana, the Roman goddess of the hunt, standing with a bow atop a ball. A large version, standing at 18 feet tall and made of copper, faced challenges and was eventually scaled down to 13 feet. After the demolition of Madison Square Garden, the sculpture found its way to the Philadelphia Art Museum. Finely detailed and bearing St. Gaudens' monogram and signature, it retains a beautiful patina.
It's in wonderful condition.
Yeah.
Luckily, nobody's taken polish to it or steel wool or anything like that.
At retail, this beautiful Augustus St. Gaudens piece is valued between
Gallery at retail, this would be about $10,000 to $12,000.
A beautiful basket is crafted by Native Americans in southeastern Alaska, specifically the Tlingit people. This particular basket belonged to the guest's great-aunt, who moved to Alaska in 1935. Known as a Tlingit spruce root twined rattle-top basket.
Very flexible baskets, and a lot of times you see them with a lot of breaks on the rims because they're very delicate.
It is made from spruce root fiber and native grasses, an intricate weaving process that begins with wild twine and takes approximately 300 hours to complete. These baskets, created by Tlingit women, served as a significant source of revenue for their coastal community. This basket features aniline dyes, which are chemical dyes that became popular in the 20th century. Soft noises came from the rattle-top aspect, possibly from seeds or pebbles inside it. Likely made in the 1930s. At auction, this fabulous work of art would sell for.
In today's auction market, a basket of this nature would sell for between $2,500 and $3,500.
Wow.
A rare and prized artifact, the Columbia Company toy phonograph from 1899 stands out in phonograph collecting. Originally priced at $3, its value plummeted to $1.50 by 1900 due to poor sales, making it exceedingly rare today. This finger-powered cylinder phonograph was likely intended as a gift, but remained unused and stored away. Preserved in pristine condition, this model is a holy grail for phonograph enthusiasts, distinguished by its rarity and historical significance. Amidst the vast array of phonographs collected worldwide, this toy model stands as a pinnacle piece.
Any collector who had this, it would be the top of their collection.
This Columbia toy phonograph is a valuable collector's item and a piece of early 20th century entertainment history. At an auction, this Columbia toy phonograph is valued between
Today, in the right auction, you'd make between $10,000 and $15,000.
A pristine 1951 amusement park set by the A.C. Gilbert Company.
Riding to New York City, and he saw the girders that they used to support the electric wires over the train. And
has emerged as a remarkable collectible toy find. A former Western auto store owner discovered the set after storing unsold Christmas toys in the attic for 42 years. Known as the world's greatest toy, this erector set is renowned for its complexity, enabling the construction of models like a carousel and the famous Coney Island parachute jump. Remarkably, this particular set includes all its original pieces, such as a delicate cardboard parachutist with a silk parachute. In virtually unused condition, this toy is rare in its near-mint condition, unlike many incomplete and worn sets commonly found. At auction, this exceptional set is estimated to fetch around.
I think at auction it would bring right up there around $2,000.
Well, my wife will be happy.
A rare poster from 1899 promoting Buffalo Bill's West Side Show has recently garnered attention. Acquired 40 years ago from a collector in Kentucky, the poster stands out in the guest's historical collection, featuring a prominent bust image of Buffalo Bill amidst vignettes from significant events like the World's Fair in Chicago and Cody Day at the Omaha Exposition. The poster was printed in America, but advertised an appearance in France.
So this poster really is promoting him to the ticket-buying public.
It includes a French tax stamp indicating its use in Paris, adding to its geographical and historical context. Despite efforts to find similar copies, none have surfaced, suggesting its rarity among Buffalo Bill memorabilia. This poster exemplifies the allure of Buffalo Bill's legacy and his international appeal during the turn of the 20th century. At auction, this Buffalo Bill poster is valued conservatively between
At auction, I would estimate this poster between $12,000 and $18,000.
A first edition of the textbook by Madam C.J. Walker's Schools of Beauty Culture has been uncovered. This rare book, given to a hairdresser by a friend, offers insight into early hair care and styling techniques.
There's some home remedies I've tried out of the book. Then some of the products in the book you can no longer get.
It features home remedies and historical hair care products, showcasing a century of beauty practice evolution. Sarah Breedlove. Born in 1867, Madam C.J. Walker was her family's first child, born into freedom after the Emancipation Proclamation. She founded a company that continues to produce hair and facial products for African American women. Recognized by Guinness as America's first self-made female millionaire, Walker's legacy is influential. This textbook, in very good condition, is highly valuable due to its historical significance and scarcity. Reflecting the growing interest in early African American cultural artifacts, its actual market value is around.
At retail, this book would sell for $10,000 plus.
$10,000? Are you serious?
I am serious.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, I'm not.
A collection of personal letters and a photo of Jackie Robinson from UCLA football holds great historical and personal value. Hidden in a scrapbook, the letters and a graduation card signed by Robinson were recently found by the guest. Dating back to the late 1930s, the letters capture a teenage Robinson years away from breaking baseball's color barrier in 1947. This collection offers a unique glimpse into Robinson's life as a young student.
Jackie Robinson, a 19-year-old Jackie Robinson signature. I've never seen one that young. It's truly amazing.
Before he became a legendary athlete, he discusses his challenges with the UCLA curriculum compared to junior college and his adjustment difficulties. These personal and friendly letters highlight Robinson's search for a church and his decision to attend UCLA over Oregon. He even invites his friend to his wedding, showcasing the depth of their relationship. This collection, including the letters and the photograph, is valued between
At auction, we can see this fetching anywhere between $15,000 and $20,000. Whoa!
A soldier's letter and tin-typed photograph unveil a pivotal moment in American history. This remarkable pairing includes a letter written by the guest's great-grandfather on May 23, 1865, and a tin-type photograph of him in uniform. The letter, composed in German, describes the first day of the Grand Review in Washington, D.C., celebrating the Union's victory in the Civil War. Grand Review, Washington, D.C., 1865. This two-day celebration featured 80,000 soldiers from General Meade's army and 65,000 from General Sherman's army. General George Meade, General William Sherman. Interestingly, the soldier signed his regiment in English to ensure proper delivery by the postman, highlighting the bilingual nature of many immigrant soldiers. Of particular interest to collectors is the presence of a Model 1855 Springfield rifle, a .58 caliber weapon rarely seen in Civil War photography. The clear quarter-plate size of the image further enhances its value to photograph enthusiasts.
They had several different patriotic and other motifs that they could put in the backdrop. You could put on anything that you wanted of the camera props.
An estimated insurance value for this unique pair of Civil War artifacts, reflecting their historical importance and rarity, is
for somewhere around the $2,000 range.
I'm kind of flabbergasted that they've got that kind of value for insurance purposes.
The Siege of Petersburg was a turning point in the Civil War, lasting over 9 months and involving complex trench warfare. Exhibited on the show is an archive of this battle, offering invaluable insights into military strategies and the daily lives of soldiers. This archive belongs to the guest's great-grandfather, who was a captain for the Confederacy in the Civil War. Third Battle of Petersburg. Included in this collection is a US Model 1850 foot officer's sword, which belonged to the guest's ancestor, and also a German-made sword, which the guest's great-grandfather acquired through private purchase. Another item is his sword belt, complete with a Confederate spoon and wreath buckle. Also displayed is a transcription of a letter written to the guest's ancestor by a friend he made during the Civil War.
Hole where the musket ball went through the guard and hit him in the hand, but he was able to capture the force of Michigan sharpshooters.
This entire collection has been remarkably well preserved. Given the rich history behind these items and their condition, this archive would easily command a price of
that here today would be between
$20,000 and $25,000.
That's surprising, but great. I mean, we aren't looking, obviously, to part with it, but that's good to know.
The guests purchased a dining set from 3 widowed ladies who were combining households. The set, which included a table, 6 chairs, 6 leaves, and a buffet, cost just $50. It was identified as crafted by Gustav Stickley, a prominent American furniture maker and designer. The appraiser discussed the characteristics of Stickley furniture, noting its simplicity and craftsmanship.
Really is very simple and spare in design. Not a lot of carving that we see in the previous decades in the Victorian period, in the late 19th century.
The set bore Stickley's maker's mark, including a motto. It featured handcrafted copperwork, meticulously done by Stickley himself. Despite this, the appraiser emphasized the high quality and collectability of the Stickley Dining Set. Given its condition and craftsmanship, the value estimated was.
The chairs could bring at auction $1,500 to $2,000 a piece. So we've got 6 of them. The dining room table itself is probably about a $3,000 table. And the sideboard is in the $6,000 to $8,000 range were we to estimate them at auctions.
Family friend left the guest a 10.5-inch bisque-headed doll. The guest believed it was a German doll and has kept it since then. The appraiser confirms it was made by the German doll maker, Armand Marcel, known for dolls from 1885 to 1930. The doll features a bisque head with an impish face and a smiling expression. Additionally, it has glass googly eyes that move to the side. The appraiser highlighted that it has a 5-piece composition body and is marked with mold number 240 on the back of the head, indicating its model. This particular 10-inch size of the doll was considered unusual, as googly dolls are typically between 5 to 8 inches. Given its rarity, and despite a few eye chips, the appraiser estimated the doll's auction value to be.
Would probably bring in the neighborhood between $4,000 and $5,000.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Our guest today is showcasing a vintage painting that has been in her family for generations.
You know, my grandparents had it, and my grandfather remembers that his mother passed it to him.
The painting was meticulously created with watercolor in 1810 by Jacob Maintel. Maintel was a German-American folk artist known for his portrayals of 19th century America.
Probably started out in Pennsylvania.
I know there's relatives in Pennsylvania.
Because this is the work of a very well-known and very collected artist named Jacob Mantell, who's one of those mysterious figures in American folk art. He was born in Kassel, Germany in 1763. He was supposed to have been Napoleon's secretary.
Really?
This painting is particularly characteristic of his works, depicting a young woman in a blue dress holding a flower. Additionally, we can see a Pennsylvania landscape in the background and fanciful roses twining up a tree. There are some condition issues with the piece, such as minor cracking and tearing. Upon inspecting the back of the painting, we can see that some minor repairs have been done, which could slightly affect its value. Maintel's works are highly collectible, and even in this condition, the painting is estimated to be worth.
Is worth about $25,000.
Wow.
Is that pretty? Are you happy with
Yes,
that?
that's very surprising.
You didn't have any idea?
It's a pretty little thing. I didn't think it'd be worth that.
From her maternal grandmother, this guest inherited a collection of exquisite jewelry pieces, each with a distinct history. The oldest among them is an Art Deco bow brooch dating back to the 1920s, adorned with old European cut diamonds. Another notable piece is an emerald ring, showcasing a surprisingly clean emerald, likely sourced from a South American mine known for producing high-quality stones like those from the Chibo mine in Colombia. Dating back to the late 30s or early 40s, this ring is surrounded by diamonds, adding to its allure and durability. The 3-carat diamond ring holds sentimental value, as it was often worn by her grandmother during special outings.
If you lost one, it would cost a lot of money to cut one that long.
Crafted in 30s to 50s New York, this diamond ring features a unique long tapered baguette cut, reflecting the era's jewelry style. Reflecting both craftsmanship and sentimental value, this collection would likely fetch.
I'm going to say $8,000 to $12,000.
Okay.
The guest presented a Bob Dylan poster that had come with his hit albums in 1967. Designed by the renowned graphic artist Milton Glasser, the poster became a sought-after piece of rock memorabilia. The guest, a collector of Bob Dylan items, shared that Milton Glasser began signing these posters in 2018 for a $50 donation.
I sent in my posters with proof of a $150 donation.
The appraiser highlighted Milton Glasser's significance in graphic design and praised the poster as an icon of 20th century graphic art. The poster featured Glasser's distinctive font, baby teeth, and was widely recognized for its aesthetic and cultural impact. Although albums with the poster could be found for around $50, the signed posters were considered rare collectibles. Given their desirability among collectors, the estimated value was.
And recently, when these posters have come up at auction, they've been estimated between $1,500 and $2,000.
Very nice.
A guest brought a painting to an appraiser, sharing its backstory. The painting has been a gift to his father, who worked as a golf pro in Iceland. The appraiser mentioned the guest's father's handwritten letter, which referenced the painting as being by Iceland's leading artist. It was suggested that the piece was likely from around 1935, based on the date mentioned in the letter. The artist was identified as John Stephenson, a renowned landscape painter. The appraiser provided background details about John Stephenson, noting he was a leading proponent of landscape painting in Iceland.
The artist was born in 1881, and he did study abroad in Denmark and France.
The remarkable piece was admired for its beauty and historical significance. The guest was pleased with the high evaluation of the piece given by the appraiser.
I would say if you were to sell this at auction, you might expect to get $30,000 to $60,000.
Oh, wow.
On display today is a stunning Oriental rug from a past era, a true work of art that has stood the test of time. A nearby residence was having a clean out, and our guest happened to spot this gem in the trash, rescuing it from an unlikely fate.
Bags of these rugs. Got them home, thought they were pretty ugly and that they weren't going to look good in the condo at all, actually. And so then, the more we started looking at them, we thought, well, maybe they're like something.
Further research reveals that this extraordinary piece is an asmalik skillfully woven by the esteemed Teke tribe.
And the Teke tribe were one of several tribes that lived in Turkmenistan, and the Teke were near the Iranian border.
Okay.
The Teke tribe created exceptional asmaliks, expertly weaving them for both practical and ceremonial purposes.
Would have been made as a dowry piece, but it would have been used in the wedding procession as a ceremonial piece, and it would have hung on the side of the camel during the bride's procession.
While most asmaliks we encounter are from the late 19th century, this piece stands out as a rare exception.
I believe that this one is circa 1800, or could possibly even be late 18th century.
A glance at the back reveals the remarkable skill of the Teke weavers, a hallmark of their superb craftsmanship.
So that is hand woven?
Yes, it's hand knotted.
It's hand knotted?
Yes.
Okay.
So there are a few hundred knots per square inch.
This piece features intricate designs known as the animal tree motif.
The reason it's called an animal tree, Osmalik, is that it has this tree flanked by two animals.
Aside from a small, easily repairable patch, this fascinating piece is in excellent overall condition. This exceptional piece has stood the test of time, preserving its original splendor and value, which would be reflected with an auction estimate of
between $125,000 and $150,000.
You are serious?
I'm serious.
Oh my gosh!
Baseball from the dawn of All-Star history, signed by legends, tells a tale of America's pastime. This 1933 baseball, a relic from the very first MLB All-Star game, was gifted to the guest's family by Hall of Famer Bill Dickley. Bill Dickley. The ball bears the signatures of baseball royalty, including Babe Ruth on the sweet spot, along with that of Jimmy Fox and others. Babe Ruth, Jimmy Fox. Remarkably preserved through shellacking, the ball maintains its historical integrity and value.
That it kept its condition through the years. Part of that was due to the fact that somebody, maybe Bill himself, shellacked this ball.
The game itself was the brainchild of Arch Ward, coinciding with Chicago's World Fair, marking a significant moment in baseball history. Arch Ward. The item's provenance, tracing back to Bill Dickley himself, adds significant authenticity and worth to this piece of baseball memorabilia.
Provenance is a word we use a lot here on this show, and of course that's the history of a piece. And this baseball in particular has a great history.
While the guest modestly estimates its value, the true worth of this iconic baseball is far greater.
It would just be a stab. I mean, I would think at least a few $1,000s.
The estimated auction value for this unique piece of baseball history, reflecting its significance as a memento from the first All-Star game signed by legends, is
In this condition, with that sort of provenance, is $20,000 to $25,000.
Thank you so much.
This beautifully hand-painted scroll was created for the movie Hella in Pink Tights by the guest's grandfather, a talented title artist at Paramount Studios from the 1950s to the 1970s. Discovered and stored in a family garage, this piece showcased his craftsmanship in gouache and watercolor. Intended for use in film credits, this scroll reflected the era's theatrical and Western themes. This marvelously hand-done scroll was so long that it had to be rolled up in a tube. The use of colors, intricate patterns, and calligraphy were all impressive. Its whole vibe and concept were driven by the art director, as he would decide what to draw on the scroll related to the film and how the whole concept should be displayed. The gouache technique used on this scroll is an opaque type of watercolor. As seen in this scroll, Sophia Loren was the female lead of the film. Crafted around 1960 for the film's production, this scroll would have been mounted on a mechanical device that moved it at a consistent pace. It not only mentioned the top stars, but also Steve Forrest, famous from the TV show SWAT. Moreover, Edith Head, a celebrated costume designer, worked on this movie. Sophia Loren's prominence significantly increased the scroll's value. Considering its craftsmanship and condition, the appraiser estimated its value to be between.
You could easily see this selling at auction between $6,000 and $8,000.
Wow. I didn't imagine it had any commercial value. It's really sentimental.
A century of artistic camaraderie comes alive through hand-painted beer mugs at New York's oldest art club. The Salmagundi Club, founded in 1871, has been a haven for notable American artists like William Merritt Chase and Louis Comfort Tiffany. William Merritt Chase, Louis Comfort Tiffany. Within the club's historic library, a unique tradition emerged in 1899.
And a tradition began in 1899 of painting the beer mugs and then offering them once a year at an auction that raised money to benefit specifically the library. It was called the Library Dinner.
Showcasing 3 mugs from different years, each reflecting the artistic styles of their time, including works from Corwin Knapp Linson and Francis Lewis Mora. Corwin Knapp Linson, Francis Lewis Mora. One mug, painted by William Faircline in 1917, set a record price at the club's auction. William Faircline. Over the years, approximately 500 of these unique mugs were created, featuring work by both well-known and lesser-known artists. The value of these mugs vary greatly depending on the artist.
Mugs by a sort of list of the great American painters. And we feel that the values of those could certainly be well over $5,000 and perhaps over $10,000.
More typical examples by less renowned artists generally sell for less.
And they tend to sell on the auction market for anything from the low hundreds, $300 or $400, up to about $2,000. All of these on the table would certainly...
The esteemed auction value for these particular mugs, reflecting their historical significance and artistic merit, falls within the range of...
This 1917 mug was worth $1,001 in 1917 dollars.